Thank you.
Thank you, Ankita. Gunjan, please take over.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, everyone present here. I'll introduce about the Nidhi ma'am's moot court team. She has been a phenomenal mooter throughout her college career. Nidhi ma'am's moot team has been the recipient of the Best Memorial Award in the 6th Checkmate Army Institute of Law National Moot Court Competition, April 2016. Further, her team went ahead to hold the title of winners in Best Memorial in the first DV Subbarao Memorial Moot Court Competition. Her team was also ranked as one of the teams in the list of top five teams to break in to the first Gujarat National Moot Court competition on securities and investment law.
Thank you, Gunjan. Sir, ma'am, you can take over.
Okay, okay, Nidhi, please start. Please take over, ma'am.
Hello everyone. Thank you for listening.
Nidhi, you're not audible properly. You're not very properly audible.
How am I audible?
A bit more actually. Thoda sa.
What is happening now?
No, the voice is not very clear actually.
The voice is very low.
Hmm. Now it's zero.
What about now?
Yes, a bit better actually.
Okay, good. Can give me just a second.
No, Nidhi, we can't hear you properly. Like your voice is not very audible.
Ma'am, could you please just keep the mic probably to around your lips or somewhere so that we can hear you to the mic probably. It's the mics which is probably like a bit away from the lips, that's why probably.
Okay, so guys, Nidhi will be joining us shortly. So in the meantime, let me give you a quick introduction. So I and Nidhi, we both belong to the same batch back in Damodaram Sanjivaya National Law University, Visakhapatnam. Same 2017 batch. We both were in the same moot court team also. So you can see both our moot achievements were like copy paste, same. So it's like we both were teammates, and accordingly we moved out after 2017. She went to Delhi to get into litigation. I went to Bangalore and then Mumbai to practice in corporate. So technically, this webinar is more about the tips and tricks as to how to succeed in a moot court competition. We are not the experts in this field, to be very honest. We had our failures, we had our chunk of failures, we had our small moments of success. And in this webinar, we just want to share our experiences, where we failed, what we should have done to overcome that failure, and all the practical experiences which we gathered over after going for around 5 or 6 national moot court competitions. If that will help you, we just hope that that experience will help you going forward to take up more and more participation in the moot court competitions, prove yourself over out there. And it's not about only winning the moot court competitions, getting a trophy or a certificate out there. It's all about the journey, the preparation, the team bonding, and the knowledge you gather after going for a moot court competition. This is the whole experience that will count once you graduate from your university. So just to give you expectation, a wholesome expectation that this is not an expert's advice. This is just, you can say, an associate working in a law firm who has his bits of failures, bits of success, and hope that this webinar will give you a more clarity as to what should you expect out of a moot court competition. So technically, if I start, I'll start with the whole basic introduction. Moot court competition. This is not a newbie for you guys. This is definitely you must have come across a moot court competition in your very first year or second year as part of your course curriculum, and definitely you may have a moot court society in your college. So just to give you a brief introduction, moot court is technically a fictional court created in a classroom to reciprocate the whole courtroom proceedings as it goes in a district court or a high court or a tribunal or even the Supreme Court of India. these moot court experiences, these moot court proceedings are quite totally quite different from what we see in a Supreme Court or a High Court. It's just to give you a feeling as to how you should proceed with your arguments, how you should work on your memorial, on a written statement, how you should maintain the decorum of the court. This is basically to give you a brief understanding, a brief experience before you go out to the real world and start fighting out your cases. So this is just a brief introduction that moot court competitions are really important in your course curriculum to give you a very brief background on how it will help you to enhance your personality. It's not only about going for a moot court competition and winning a trophy or a certificate out there, as I said. It's all about the study you do for those 2 or 3 months for a moot court competition, and the law which you take, which will be taken up by Nidhi, as to what kind of law, what kind of moot problem, what kind of a moot you should select in your freshman years, in your first year, or even your second year. What's the whole criteria of selecting a moot problem or selecting a moot court competition? Whether you should go for an international moot court or a national moot court or even a local moot court competition. What is the difference in all these moot court competitions? So technically, all this will be taken by us in the upcoming time, in the next few minutes. So this is just a brief overview that moot court competitions are just a replica, or technically a similar replica of what goes out in the real courtrooms. So now back to Nidhi. I guess Nidhi is back online with us. No, Nidhi, you are on mute.
Now, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Clear and loud.
Hello, everyone. I'm sorry for that technical thing. Okay, so as Amia has explained properly, I will be talking about moot court selections, team selections. So, see, moot courts are very important. Why you do it has already been explained by Amia. So, when it comes to team selection, what happens when we go in first year, we make friends and we think that, we should do all of our activities with our friends. In the process, what happens that we form a moot court competition with whom we are not compatible, or one or two member is not working. Because when it comes to moot court competition, the whole teamwork is very important. Each and every member efforts, gives you the result which you actually want. Because moot court competition though requires a lot of reading and what should I say, studying process, but it is like a sports. If you don't get proper result in your initial moot court competition, you tend to lose your interest. And I have seen it happening in our college career that people do it in the first year, and in second or third year they say, no, it's a lot of efforts, and then in fifth year they regretted that why we haven't done it. Because let me tell you very clearly that yes, there are a lot of co-curricular activities which which should be there on your CV, but publishing and moot court is something it must be there, because that that actually gives the recruiter to see that yes, this person has made a lot of efforts, because these are the only two things which requires a lot of mind juggling and efforts. All the other things they related to, because I have I've been to a lot of interviews, they related more to fun exercise or a extracurricular activity. This is a academic curricular activity. So when if you're in first year, second year, third year, even if you're in fourth year and you have not started doing moots, you should start your mooting activities. If you are a first year law student, there are a lot of opportunities for you. So when it comes to team selection, researcher is the most important person in a team. So try to find out a researcher who are actually like to read, who have time and who put efforts. And I understand that being a first year law student, you may find this difficult to know your classmates or your seniors, but try. And if you fail in first year, use your experience when you finalize your second year moot court team. Because after second year, I would definitely say that your moot team should be consistent. If you want to do mooting for 5 years, and you should definitely do it, because it improves you as an advocate in all the fields, being drafting, being speaking, being how to do research, which are the basic qualities of a advocate. Any law firm, or if you go into any field, these are the qualities which you will be needing, and moot courts helps helps in that a lot. So there are two speakers and one researcher in every moot court team. So as I said, researcher is the most important person. And why I am telling you, because when we form a team, we think that we should have two good speakers, and then researcher, we say anyone can do it. So don't think like that. You should plan that what kind of members you should have in a team. So after researcher, see, speaking is something you can work on also. And I know all the first year graduate, if you are from a good schooling background and if you have a very good English skills, that might not be a problem. But I think me and Amya both are from a very normal schooling background, and we were not very hot shot English speaking person at that point of time in our first year. So we have improved a lot in our first, second, third year. And Amya, as everyone know, that he has won like twice best speaker award. So that is something you can work upon, but you have to put a lot of efforts. So try to find out team members with whom you have compatibility, who are ready to make at least some kind of efforts, because once you start getting results and you understand, you will obviously put more efforts. But don't go just for friends because you are laughing together or having fun together or drinking together. Try to find out people who are ready to make some kind of efforts, and then you can start your journey, and it will ultimately turn out to be something good. I would be definitely discussing about the good part of mooting also in the end. But for team selection, please try to find out people who are ready to read, who are ready to burn some midnight oil, who are ready to put a lot of efforts, because this matters at the end. That is actually, I would like to say, for team selection process. Amya, please.
Yes, thank you, Nidhi. That was very rightly and very aptly said by Nidhi that team selection is very, very important, because that is the foundation of your whole journey for a moot court competition. Without a proper team with which you are compatible with, to go around, to work around, to sacrifice some part of your fun moment or enjoyment out of your lives, this whole exercise won't work. So try to find out the compatibility within your team members. Try to judge someone, because obviously we say that don't judge anyone, but when it comes to moot court competitions, try to judge on a very constructive way, so that with whom you can be compatible throughout a long way. So when you make a team compatible, when you check the team compatibility, get a proper team in your very first or second year, just imagine in the next 3 or 4 years how many moot court competitions you can go in around, how much experience you can gather, and how greater and a strong bond you can create within your team members, and that will definitely go a very, very long. So now coming next to our agenda, basically it's like regarding the selection of a moot court competition. Now this is a very
Okay.
important aspect as to like how you are going to select a moot court competition, what kind of a problem you should definitely look into right now. So if you're a first year student, obviously you will be having a myriad of thoughts that you would like to go for a good international or a national moot court competition, which definitely has got a name, fame, and quality. Made Philip Jessup, because once you enter into a law school, obviously you always hear about Philip Jessup, Manfred Zach, Space Moot Court competition, all those kind of high-level moot court competitions. But nobody say that these moot court competitions are taken at a very higher level. Once you reach the fourth or fifth year, once you have the basic grounds strong, and if you get a proper hold on your subject, accordingly you can go for a higher level of a moot court competition. So technically, for example, if you're in a first year, you definitely go into reading law of torts, maybe some part of constitution, some part of history. So technically, when you're in a first year or even in the second year, try to cover those subjects which you can interpret and understand easily. For example, constitution, it is not rocket science. Constitution, if you read the commentaries, if you can read the Bare Act, you can definitely understand the whole concept. You will get hundreds of thousands of readable materials online. You get to interpret the constitution in different thousands of ways. But come may say banking law. Banking laws, you cannot interpret it in a different thousand ways as you can interpret constitution. May it be companies law, may it be investment law. Those are totally different. Those are gray areas of law. Those have very singular or double interpretation. So technically, when you are in your first year or second year or third year, choose those subjects which wherever you are comfortable with. If you're comfortable with constitutional law, go for it. Being in your second year, going for companies law or securities law for that matter won't help. It will be very tough for you, because if you're going for a moot court competition and for say securities law in your second year, just imagine in a moot court competition, you are not only dealing with a securities law moot problem. In that securities law moot compromise, you will be dealing with code of civil procedure, you may be dealing with code of criminal procedure, you may be dealing with investment law, you may be dealing with companies act, banking law, you may be dealing with SEBI investment laws, you may be dealing with competition laws. So just imagine if you're going for a higher level of a law, which you'll be reading in your fourth or fifth year, in your very second year, you're not only dealing with one specific area of law, but you are also dealing with other sister concerns of the specific law problem over there. So for that, you need to have your basic grounds clear. For even, for example, in Competition Act 2002, there have been ingredients which go back to Constitution of India. Now, if you don't know your Constitution well, if you don't know how to interpret the provisions of Constitution, how are you going to relate it to the competition law? How are you going to relate it to the Companies Act? You can't, right? Or obviously, it will take a lot of time for you to decipher all these laws, interpret it, make your notes, go for the problem, more compromise, relate to it, make your arguments. And it will be very tough for you as a team to complete everything to your satisfaction within that 1 or 2 month period where you get your time to work on your written statement. So in these 5 years, just like your internship, where it is very specifically said by the course curriculum and by all the industrial experts that start with an NGO, go up to a law firm or advocate or a think tank. Similarly, for a moot court competition, start with a very basic minimum moot court competition where you don't have to hit your heads, bang your heads over the table. Simple law, may it be torts, may it be constitution, may it be criminal, code of criminal procedure, criminal law, may it be civil law. Go for it, read it properly, get your basics clear, make your written statement. You may succeed in your moot court competition, you may fail in a moot court competition, but again, you'll gain experience. Based on that experience, go for the next level. Don't just jump into the very fifth or sixth stair before going down the first till the fifth staircase. It's always one step at a time. So selection of a moot court problem based on your comfort, on your knowledge, on your experience, on your level, on your expertise, and on your preparation. These 6 grounds are very, very important. And technically, secondly, your area of interest. Now, in your 5th year, if you see that, okay, most of my batchmates are going for securities law moot court competition or for corporate law moot court competition, that looks good, that looks fancy in your CV or in your resume. But again, back of the mind, you are really, really interested into getting into a constitutional law moot court problem, or even for that matter, taxation. Always listen to your heart, your mind, where you know your expertise, where it lies. Because going from scratch for a corporate law moot court competition will be tough. But rather, if you have an interest in taxation or if you have an interest in constitution, you are halfway through the moot court problem. You know your provisions. You know how to relate the problem to different provisions. You know the interpretation. Go for it. See where you have a upper hand, where you have a strong hold, and just believe me, if you are going for a constitutional moot court competition, it's not going to hamper your future prospects of becoming a competition lawyer or a corporate lawyer or even a constitutional lawyer. These moot court competitions are going to help you develop as a human being, as an individual, as an advocate throughout your law school. It's not going to make any law firm judge, okay, fine, you have been to a constitutional moot court competition, I'm not going to take you into competition law. Sorry, that's not going to happen. It is just to build up your confidence level so that once you go through this constitutional moot court competition, for example, tomorrow if you're going to apply for a competitional law firm or for advocate, you know how to relate that competitional law aspect to a constitutional law aspect. And that will be a boon for it. That will be a brownie point that will be added to your advantage. So think it like a basically, you can think it as a long shot. Give it a long shot and prepare for it right now. Right now itself, you should prepare and start looking into all these aspects and come up with a calculative approach. So now, I guess, now we'll be looking into how to deal with a problem statement. Nidhi, you want to take it up or?
Ma'am, you're on mute.
Nidhi,
Okay.
you're on mute.
I thought somebody else did it. Anyways, just to add to this particular thing, Amya has figured out very, properly saying, and most of the things which actually he's trying to explain is the problems which we faced in our moot court competitions. If the introduction is before you, we have done a securities law moot court competition without reading securities law in our college, and that turned out to be very difficult exercise for us because we had to like literally search each and every word on computer, like except the, is, and are. We were sitting with a our moot court problem, and we were literally trying to search it on Google that what exactly does it mean. However, just a little bit different approach from Amya. When you have a moot court competition in your hand, you generally have like 2 to 3 months of time to prepare on it. So interest definitely plays a very important role. If you are in a first year or second year, if you have started mooting in first or second year, then definitely you are in a very safe zone, and it will not be a issue for you because you can start from very easy issues, and then you can, after gaining 2 months of 2 years of experience, you can enter into prestigious moot court competition. Because yes, that always gives you an added advantage when you're sitting in front of somebody, or you're even if you're telling someone that yes, I have participated in so and so moot court competition. But that only works out for first or second or third year moot court competition. We started our mooting journey in our third year, so we faced a lot of such issues that we were not able to select proper moot court problems, or we would have done more moot courts if our planning was correct. So again, moot court selection, first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, in each year the planning should be different, because when you are in fourth year you have already read all of the laws, so you can actually choose that yes, this is my interest area. Even if the subject is difficult, you are almost at the verge of becoming a lawyer, so your understanding gets, you have a vast understanding of subjects, so you will be able to tackle any of the areas. And since a lot of time is there, because when it comes to interest, there are three people. Again, this was our issue, that we were, three persons in a moot court competition having totally different areas of interest, and that's why we opted for BCI, because it has 4 different kind of problems, and everybody of our interest was, being taken care of. So these kind of issues can come, so you should obviously talk to each other and try to find out a moot court issue which will, have you enhance your basic understanding of at least basic subject. Like if you are planning to do 5 years, every year you want to do a moot court competition, you should definitely do a criminal moot court competition, because when you're doing a moot court, you actually gain understanding of the whole subject, because you don't know from where the judges will ask you question. So try to have both basic subjects in your moot court list as well as specific subject, because both of them are important while you are selecting a moot court. That's what I wanted to add, Amya.
Yes, that's really helpful. So now it's basically how to deal with the problem statement at hand. So Nidhi, you want to take it up or should I take it up?
Yes. I can definitely take it up. So, okay. Now, after selecting moot court, let's say, see, there can be two kind of situations. Maybe your college have a different kind of criterias of sending people in moot courts. We had. So there can be two things that you decide in your, first month of year that this year I want to go for this so and so moot court competition, and somehow your ranking are not proper, or somebody else has already taken up, and that can happen with you, 3 or 4 times also. So whatever problem in front of you, so the problem in front of you can be of your interest, or a subject which you know, or a subject which you don't know at all. So there can be three situations. So if I go by the first thing, that you have a problem where you know the subject, you know the, content you have a basic understanding of that particular areas, you have read about the moot court competitions and everything. So first I would say that before going into problem, you should always see if it is a first edition of that moot court competition, no issues. If, there have been several other editions on the same subject, you should first start with, having a proper understanding of the background of that moot court competition, that what kind of judges come into that particular moot court competition, what kind of problems they have drafted in past. Because sometimes what they are giving you in a problem is exactly a case which is going on in a court. So these kind of things at the first stand you can have by reading about that moot court competition in length if they have a proper history. If it is a first edition, you can directly start with your problem. Now when a problem is in front of you before doing research, and this I always say, and I think Amir doesn't agree with me here much, that read your moot court problem at least 25 times, 30 times, 100 times if if you're not able to understand it, because that's the first time you're reading it. And before starting research, what we do generally, we say, okay, fine, so and so concept is coming up, and then we'll start reading about it, and then we'll start going into judgments, and then we'll start making our own arguments in our head without understanding the end of the problem. That happens with every lawyer. In our practice also, that happens, that we'll hear the first sentence and we'll start planning the course of that particular case in our mind. So that we should not do, because there are 100 factors which comes into picture, and facts are the most important things in a moot court competition. There, I don't think so anybody in India can deny this fact, because as soon as you enter the moot court competition, you understand this thing, that whatever law you are reading, have to have a good connection of that with your facts in hand. So read it as much as you can. If you have 3 months of preparation, and I used to tell it to my juniors also, I still tell it to people every day, wake up in the morning, or at least give 15 minutes time to your moot court problem every day, because that will help you making your memorial, that will help you understanding your problem, that will help you in your argumentation also. So facts should be very, very clear in your mind. Now, moot court problems are of two types. It can be of a very short problem where they are not giving you any kind of arguments on which you are going to have discussion, or you are going to discuss it before the judge. Or it can be a very lengthy problem where they are discussing each and everything, and they have given you proper 4 area of issues on which the moot court discussion is going to happen. Again, reading part becomes very important here, because it has happened with us once that there was a problem. It was, I think, Jamia moot court competition, and because people have not read the issues properly, they ultimately were arguing from the wrong side. Because of that lack of understanding, a lot of teams got out of the moot court competition because of that, because they didn't prepare their memorial and their argumentation from this side. It was little bit confusing, and they didn't read it properly. So that practically we have seen it, and after that only we realized that no, it is very important. We didn't do that mistake because we read it a lot of times, but we were more careful after that, because we saw this happening to people. So reading part becomes very important. After that, you should spend good amount of time before starting your research, making your list of events out of that particular moot court problem. You should you should pick out the pointers. Okay, this is what happened, because there will always be a series of events happening in that particular moot court problem. Moot court is just facts. That situation has happened with somebody, so there will be list of events. So try to jot it down. After that comes issues. So, like, what are the issues on which you want the judge to decide? So you have to understand it. If it is already there, your problem is 50% solved. If it is not there, then it becomes little bit tricky, because you are framing issues on your own, and you might do this mistake that you leave out some very small thing, and you are in front of a judge who is only interested in that particular point. So where issues are not given, this particular part becomes very important, that you read your problem properly and then you jot down all the issues. And even if you are just mentioning, because we will be discussing this while how to draft your memorial, that you have to cover each and every aspect in 2 or 3 issues. So even if it is not written directly, you have to jot down 10 issues, 15 issues, 50 issues if it is there on a piece of paper, so that you don't leave anything out. After issues, with the problem, it comes like on what areas, on what laws you will be doing your research. So when it comes to problem, just a second. When it comes to problem, there are 3 things. You have to understand the problem properly. You have to, make out the list of events properly, and then you have to sort out the issue, that what are the issues in this. And last but not least, that according to you, all 3 members of your team, what will be the laws which you have to be reading while dealing with this problem. So when you read a problem, give it 1 week of time, try to make a plan, try to, bring all the things on paper, because what happens if you do it in a very hasty manner, you will just put down two laws and you will start doing research. Obviously people do this thing, they don't read it, their moot court problem again and again, and then at the last day of your memorial submission, when you're putting most of your efforts, you will say, okay, oh my god, I have not even been reading this particular law. So that should not happen with you. At least while reading, you can do your like, you can be a little bit lazy while you're drafting your memorial, but you should not be lazy while you're reading your mood problem. So that is one thing I think I've learned from my experience. This is all about how you should deal with the problem statement and how you should frame your issues. Amya, if you want to add anything.
Yes, that was really, really very helpful, Nidhi. So basically,